Welcome to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. This podcast is the full show from today's episode of Undisputed from start to finish. They've got a busy slate, so skip Shannon. Let's get to it. Welcome to Undisputed. We are live from LA. I'm Jenny Taft here with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe. Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing, Skip?
I'm not doing very well today because it is countdown to a beatdown. We got 2 days until my team gets annihilated at GOAT.
Good.
Here we go.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, are you? You'll enjoy every second of it.
Every last drop.
Today's Tuesday. We still got Wednesday and then Thursday. But how about we talk about
Ain't
that
nothing like a build up to a good beating.
Yeah.
I remember my grandma used to tell me.
Come on, guys. We are so close to the season opener, and while nobody was surprised to see the defending champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the Thursday night opener, the Cowboys' inclusion raised a few eyebrows. Dallas has missed the playoffs in the past 2 seasons and finished last year 6-10, good for only 3rd place in their own division. So since Skip is not doing so good today, did the Cowboys deserve to be in this game?
Obviously, my team did not deserve to get thrown to the wolves on opening solo stage night at GOAT, at defending champs, at Tampa Bay. The more I think about this, the worse it gets, because obviously my team has missed the playoffs the last 2 years. Obviously, the opening night game at least pits a playoff team against the defending champ, at the very least, pits an arch rival. Like a couple of years ago, we had Green Bay, which had had a bad year the year before, but they were still a good team. They were at Chicago. It was an arch rivalry.
Yes,
Age-old, right?
yes.
Longest rivalry in the sport.
Yes.
At least if you told me this was Dallas at Washington, which is obviously not going to happen because neither is very good, but if you told me that, I'd say, okay, I got you.
Right.
But I don't got this one because let's just think about my team. As Jenny just pointed out, not only did it go only 8-8 2 years ago and miss the playoffs, but it went 6-10 last year and finished third in one of the worst divisions in the history of the sport.
Yes.
Am I right about that?
Absolutely.
My defense last year was historically bad, certainly for the first 2/3 of the year. Finished just barely behind Houston for yards rushing allowed. Am I right?
Yep.
And I think my team's going to be better this year, but I don't know that they're going to be better. So in the end, what do we have here? We have my Cowboys on opening night just on reputation alone. As you often remind me, my team hasn't even played in an NFC championship game since the season I last wrote a Cowboy book about, which was the 1995 season. That's the last time they even made it to the NFC championship game, and obviously went on to win their last Super Bowl after the 95 year. What are we now, up to 20?
I was in my 20s.
You were in your 20s, once upon a time. Yeah, and it was a long time ago. So obviously, this is a reputation image game. This is an America's team game. This is truly, if you boil it all down, this is Brady versus Jerry, because it's just Jerry.
Right.
He is the face of my team. He is the most famous or infamous owner in the history of sports to me, beyond Steinbrenner, beyond Ted Turner, beyond anybody else you can sell.
But you know he'd have it no other way.
Okay, he would have it no other way. And this is Hard Knocks. This is the culmination of episode 5, which airs tonight on HBO, of Hard Knocks. It jettisons, it launches my Cowboys into opening night on Thursday night at the defending champs that are so good to me because they managed to bring everybody back and add a few new pieces, Giovanni Bernard, that I am not going to be surprised if Tampa goes 17-0. I know it's completely against all odds, but I will not be shocked if they go 17-0, and I might just pick them when we do our predictions to go 17-0 because that's how deep and good they are. My team is right now an 8-point underdog, which makes them the biggest underdog of the whole opening weekend. I think you pointed that out yesterday, but they went up a tick from 7.5 to 8. And the truth is, the God's truth is, if I hadn't loved this team for most of my life, since I was 10 years old, which was their first year, And if I were a betting man, I would bet a lot of money on the Bucs to cover 8 because I think this should be a 12-point spread. I think, I've already told you, I think it's going to be 35-10 because my team is in the wrong place at the wrong time. I still like my team to win the NFC least by default as the lesser of evils in the division. But it's unfair to throw them into this fire on opening night because they did nothing to earn the right to play on opening night. And if they deserve to be there, at least they could be competitive in this game. And frankly, unfortunately, I don't think they will be competitive. So it's completely unfair to my team to just hang an opening L on them that they finished 3rd in their division. How do they belong in this game? They don't belong in it except for the owner and his reputation and the magnitude, the sea to shining sea fascination with the Dallas Cowboys. And I believe the ratings for opening Thursday night will be through the roof, at least for maybe 3 quarters when people finally say, well, I've seen enough of this, right? Maybe a half, and go to bed. So the more I think about this, the worse it gets. It's just eating me. It's sticking in my craw because I'm saying, how did we deserve to get embarrassed like this? Well, it's because of my owner and his, you know, the drone shot that went through the stars we saw on episode 2 of Hard Knocks. It was the showpiece, the centerpiece of Hard Knocks was that drone shot through the star, right? And that's the Cowboys. It's all glitz, it's all glitter, it's all country club, it's all state of the art, right?
Show no go.
Okay, you got me. I get it, but I think my team's good enough to win a division, but it's going to start with an L.
But you said it's the worst division in football.
It is. So. I agree. So I'm clinging to that right now. But the truth is, the God's truth is that I have no idea how they wound up in this game except for ratings.
Yeah, exactly. Skip, I agree with everything you just said. Over the last 10 years, only 3 teams have played opening Thursday night after missing the playoff the previous year. The Cowboys has done it twice.
Okay.
There have been 3 teams. The Cowboys have done it twice.
Okay, and you can look at those other games, and like I said, the Green Bay at Chicago, I get that one.
Right. You're talking about the Acme Packers and the Bears. They go back almost 100 years.
They do.
So we get you. You're absolutely right, Skip. But also on the Bucs schedule, you have the Rams, you have Buffalo, you have Indy. So they played these teams during the regular season. Wouldn't that have been a great matchup? The Buffalo Bills, a lot of people think them to make the AFC Championship game, possibly the Super Bowl. Okay. The Rams, that's a hot pick.
All those.
Yes.
All of them. I like them all.
But see,
as a football matchup, they're all better. All better. Skip, here's the thing. You said you've been a Cowboy fan since 1960, but you got to think about it, Skip. They've been terrible more than they've been good. They were awful in the 60s, great in the 70s, terrible in the 80s, great in the 90s. And they've been the last 2.5 decades, they've been awful. It's simple as that. You've had 2 decades in which you've been good. The 70s and the 90s, 60s, 80s, 2010s, and you're off to the races again in the 2020s, being terrible. Okay, you can't go terrible because 2014, 2016, 2018 weren't terrible.
So, hold on, Skip. You made the playoffs. You win 1 game one of those years because you got to realize Tony Romo only won 2 playoff games, and he was your quarterback. Well, Dak lost his first playoff game. But look at 2010, 2011, 2012.
Terrible.
2013.
No, I got it.
Awful.
Awful. Hard to watch.
2000.
Yeah.
How were you in the 2000s?
Which 2000?
The 2000, from 2000 to 2010. How were you?
I thought Bill Parcells was going to remedy that, but it never seemed to take off.
Skip, this is the problem that the Cowboys have. Not they don't have, but America have, is that normally we love winners. We do, Skip. But the Cowboys and Jerry understands, I don't need to win. I'm the most valuable. I'm the most profitable franchise in all the world.
In all the world.
Even though I've missed the playoff the last 2 years.
Yep.
Let one of those soccer teams miss one of their championships or miss the playoffs in 2 years in a row. People lose their mind. They fired everybody. Cowboys, it don't matter. Guess what? We still gonna do box office. And the league knows the Cowboys have them over a barrel because nobody is more generates ratings like the Cowboys, no matter who your quarterback is. It does not matter. You can't outdo them. And the league knows that. There is no way they're supposed to be in this ball game. No way. After missing the playoffs, you mentioned it, 8-8 and 6-10, and somehow they get the showcase game. next to the what? Because that's a standalone, Skip.
Yep.
At least when you play the championship game, there's another game. Either you play the late game, you play the early game, but there's 2 games. This is like the Super Bowl. This is a standalone. This is a standalone game. And the Cowboys get to be in it. Why? Because they're the Cowboys, not because they've done anything to warrant it. Like I said, there are other teams on the Bucs schedule that's more deserving. The Rams, Buffalo, Indy is more deserving than the Cowboys, but the Cowboys got it because of the star, because they generate ratings. But still,
heck, even if you remember, they threw the Bucs to New Orleans last year for the opener. Even if you put New Orleans with Jameis at quarterback back at the Bucs on opening night, I'd say, okay, I got it.
It's hard to see a scenario in which any team is not going to generate ratings for this game, for the simple fact it's the defending Super Bowl champ, Skip, the pageantry that goes along with it. They unveil, they drop the banner. Everybody's in it. It's so, and plus you get fans back. I'm not so sure. Hell, you could put Jacksonville and Texans in this game, and it's still going to do ratings because it's a standalone, because it's opening day, because NFL football is back, because the fans are back in the stands. The Cowboys, Skip. You and I don't agree on a whole lot, but we agree on this 1,000%. We connected. The Cowboys didn't deserve to be in this game. And what I can't understand about you, a man that loves winners, he loves Michael Jordan because he won 6-0. He loves Tom Brady. You love the Cowboys.
So, I love Roger Staubach. I love Troy
Man,
Aikman.
Roger Staubach.
I love Emmitt Smith. I love Michael Irvin. Where do you want me to start and stop?
Roger Staubach been retired 40 years.
Okay.
Emmitt Smith been retired 15 years, and Michael was retired 20 years.
I love Bob Lilly. I love Too Tall Jones. I love Randy White. I love Charlie Waters and Cliff Harris.
Yes.
How much farther do you want me to go?
That was the 70s when the Cowboys were good.
That's why I'm addicted. That's why I'm stuck in this impasse of I don't know how to get out of it, because I told you, I was 10 years old. My uncle coached high school football in Dallas, Texas, invited me down on a weekend. I think I was in 4th grade. And he said, I want to take you out and show you this new team in town, because it was a rivalry between the Texans and the Cowboys. And the Texans finally moved up to Kansas City thanks to Lamar Hunt. And his son still runs the franchise, as you know. And he said, let's go out to the Cotton Bowl and watch this team. And it wasn't very good because it was an expansion team with a tiny little 5'9" quarterback named Eddie LeBaron. And I go out, and I love the St. Louis football Cardinals because I got them on TV in Oklahoma City. I was actually going to see my Cardinals, who beat the Cowboys that day. But what happened? It's what happened to millions of kids who've now grown up out here in L.A. When they were 5 years old, they looked at the TV and they saw the stars on the helmets. They saw the color that Tex Schramm specifically chose for television. It's called metallic blue, and it's easy on the eyes, and somehow it's addictive. It's almost like mind control. You see those uniforms and you're like, wow, I love that.
And that stadium, everybody, you was all open or you were all closed. But the Cowboys were unique. They had a hole in the roof. They had a sunroof.
That's after the Cotton Bowl, obviously, when they moved out to Texas Stadium.
You looking at it on TV, Skip, you're like...
And what did we always say? It's so God could watch his Cowboys through the hole in the roof. I don't know why, but it was just a hole in the roof.
Exactly.
This is pre-Jerry world. Okay, so it got me, and I'm stuck in it because I do love to look at those uniforms, and I am very excited about opening night, but I'm also a realist. I'm a diehard fan, and I want to beat you with my Cowboys. That's what drives me.
As I listen that you talk, you're not upset that they're on television. You're upset that they're against the Bucs, and the Bucs gonna put butts in them. Because, see, if you thought it was a more favorable matchup, you'd be all in for it. Yeah, my team deserved to be there. But because you know you're going to lose, you don't want them to get embarrassed. And you're going to get embarrassed when the whole world is watching. And I'm here for it.
Okay, I got you. But again, we don't deserve... I'm talking strictly as a fan who actually wants to win. I don't want to just watch. I want to win. Because my pride's on the line, because I have to come in here and try to defend what's been a mess to you.
It's indefensible.
Okay? Well, it might not be this year once we get past opening day, although I'm starting to dread that second game
the
Chargers who are favored to beat the Washington team at Washington. I'm like, uh-oh, maybe there's 0-2 in our future, right?
It is.
Okay, so, but then after that, we've got a very easy schedule because we're going to win the next 3 at home and we'll be off to the races. We'll be just fine. But I got to weather the early storm that we did not deserve because, again, when you finish 3rd in your division, you didn't do enough to have to get thrown into that fire on opening night when they have added Gio Bernard to all of their weapons, and they're all back. And that Tryon kid they drafted at the bottom of the first round, he's going to be in the pass rush rotation now to beef it up and give it more juice. And all of a sudden, Dak hasn't played in 333 days.
They got no Zach.
What's
Zach
that?
Martin.
Zach Martin, which is just huge. It's a big psychological loss to the line. I think Emmett's going to have a bounce-back year, but I'm not sure he's going to start bouncing back at Tampa against
you mean Zeke?
I mean Zeke. I'm sorry, Zeke. Because
you wish you had Emmett in the prime.
You got that right. But at Tampa, they had simply the best run defense in pro football. And I think they have the best defensive coordinator in all of football in Todd Bowles. And they have a lot to prove because some people thought it was a fluke. Some people thought it was just because Mahomes' line was a wreck going into the Super Bowl. And that's how they kept him off balance and on his back much of the game. Okay, so they have a lot to prove. And Brady's just getting better and better at age 44. And I just think deep down, I believe Brady hates everything Dallas Cowboys. It's everything he doesn't want. It's the glitz and the glitter. It's all for show, and he's the steak. He's not the sizzle. He wants to go out and just execute them to death.
You got to realize, even though Brady has become a lot more open, he's become a lot more vocal since he's been in Tampa, his roots is we go play. Everything else will speak for itself. The owner doesn't do any talking. The head coach does the talking. The players don't give any bulletin board material. It's very matter of fact. You're very complimentary. Even though you believe they're bull jive on the other side, you become very complimentary. What you're saying behind closed doors, we're going to beat the brakes off that team. But publicly, and when the microphone, they have a very good team. They play hard. They got a lot of good players over there. They got Pro Bowl, Dak and Zeke. They got an offensive line, a top 5 offensive line defensively. They got a new defensive coordinator who likes to get after the quarterback. You say all these things publicly, but deep down, and when you're in those meeting rooms, we're going to beat the brakes off this team.
Like embarrass this team.
Yes.
Brady wants to embarrass
When you try to send a message, Skip, early on, you want to send a message because what are we going to come in here and obviously, we're going to talk about this on Friday, but we get an opportunity to see the rest of the league play. And we go like, man, who looked really good? Man, they really sent a message that they're for real this year. Everybody tried to send that opening day message to let everybody else know we're a team to be reckoned with. Your team is going to send a message, we ain't making the playoffs again.
Oh, well, that's wrong. You're going to lose. You're going to lose again.
No.
Okay, so in the end, what is at least 50% of the appeal of my team? Why at the end of the year? You can book this for the top 5 game ratings, NFL game ratings will be Dallas Cowboy games. 50% of their appeal is people love to watch them lose.
Correct.
The worse, the better.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Because they are the most loved and hated team, I think, in sports history.
Yes.
It used to be the Yankees, but I think Cowboys have transcended the Yankees, right?
I agree.
Okay, so you have a built-in box office appeal of people just, the narrative is you either love them to death or hate them with all your might, right? So it's okay because both sides are going to come to watch for 2 very different reasons.
And the league doesn't care why you're watching as long as you're watching. It's like the Floyd Mayweather fight, Skip. A lot of people just bought the fight because they want to say, I saw the fight in which Floyd lost. Floyd didn't care why you were buying it. He was going to do what he did, but guess what? 100 million, 150, 200, 250. That's all. That was the end of the day. That's what the numbers did. Doesn't care why you're watching me. I just need you to watch. And that's how the Cowboys are, Skip. Why you watch them? Oh, yeah. Come on, Cowboys, lose. All the memes that's going to be coming out there, Skip. Are y'all still them boys? We ain't them boys. All that's going to come. But guess what? We watching.
And my quarterback said the other day, and we're going to talk about these quotes later in the show, he said that in the end, he boils this game down to the NFL and the world needs this game. Us at Tampa.
No, they don't.
Well, I get it for box office, but he's speaking as a competitor. He loves being on this stage on opening night. And he did what to earn that stage? Nothing. He wears a star on his helmet.
So let me guess, Skip. If they go out there and lose, let's just say they lose 30-10.
Right?
Is the NFL like, man, we shouldn't have put the Cowboys on there. The season's going to be terrible. No. This game changes. This game's going to do ratings regardless. Like I said, it's a standalone. So the NFL didn't need the Cowboys at the Bucs. The NFL just needed football to come back and fans and butts in the seats. That's what the NFL needed, and they got that.
Well, unfortunately, on Thursday night, I'll be watching. But you know what? I'll be watching with one eye closed.
You'll be like
like that, because that's what's going to happen. And maybe by the third quarter, I will have both my eyes closed. Because I'll be trying to figure out how can I go in there and defend.
Ain't nothing you can defend. Yeah. All I know is this. Tom Brady's told us all season, that nagging knee of mine, I couldn't run. I could barely get out of bed. I had crutches, and somehow I made it to the field.
Yep.
He got that cleaned up. He doesn't have a knee sleeve on because they cut off the circulation between in his quad and his calf, and his hamstring wasn't firing. I don't hear none of that.
Okay, well, he wants all the pressure.
Yeah,
He's saying, I'm ready.
I need a 400-yard passing day, opening day. Well, I need 2 100-yard receivers, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, or Mike Evans, and Antonio Brown. I need one of them. And I need a 2-piece from Gronk.
Really?
Yep.
Scotty Miller might have 100 yards.
I need Gronk to go Gronk on him. I need Gronk to go Gronk.
Tampa Bay 35, Dallas 10.
Yep.
Me sick.
Yep. Tampa a whole lot,
with
Dallas
eyes
a few.
closed.
That's what I like.
Don't worry, we have so much more on the matchup today. We're going to be talking about it really for the rest of the week. Plus, a new viral video from Russell Westbrook that has gotten Laker fans pretty excited. Curious how Shannon feels. We will show you after the break. Stick around.
No mercy, no mercy, no mercy, and I won't back down, and I won't back down.
A workout video of Russell Westbrook dunking over 3 defenders has gone viral, with Laker fans excited to see their new point guard finishing in traffic, giving them hope that the addition of the former MVP will help get LeBron back to another final. So, Shannon, do you like that Russ posted this video?
I don't have a problem with it, Skip. I like guys when they post because it lets me know that they're working on their craft. And what you try to do is that you work hard in the offseason, and so what you're putting in, the work that you're putting in, it manifests itself in a particular sport. So if obviously it's basketball, we're talking about the court and situation, football, it's on the football field. So I don't really have a problem with it. I don't really deduce anything. If I see someone dunking in practice or working out, or I see somebody hit 5 threes in a row, that doesn't mean that, oh, man, it's over now. We sure enough going to win the championship, or we sure enough going to do this. That's not really how it works. I just like to see guys work on their craft, get better and better. And that's why, Skip, a lot of times when reporters, though, they ask them after the game, are you surprised you did this, or are you surprised you did that? More times than not, you get no, because they put the work in the offseason. So, therefore, it's second nature to them when they get on the court. These guys are really good. And you see these guys, Devin Booker, in the open gym, and you see and he had a post that says, man, I sure missed the days the open gym had no cameras. Skip, these guys are extremely skilled. Russ is extremely skilled. But here's the thing, though, Skip. This is the first time in Russ's NBA career that he's going to be the 3rd best player on his roster. When he was with KD, he was the second.
You think he thinks he's going to be the 3rd best?
It's the fact is what he is.
Okay, well, he doesn't think that. That's the key.
But I think that, and so, Skip, you look at all the guys he played with, from Bradley Beal to Paul George to James Harden, it was one of those 2 guys. Now, the thing is, Skip, at the end of the day, he has those triple-doubles does not equate to wins, and it doesn't equate to championship. You win some games. So at the end of the day now, okay, I've done that 4 or 5 triple-double seasons in the last 5 years. Now it's about championships. But I love that Russ putting in the work. That's the one thing I know about him, Skip. You go watch him play, you're not going to get cheated. Whether you watch him on television, whether you play your hard-earned money to go to a game, home or away, he's going to empty the tank. And that's all I can ask from my athletes, to give me everything he got. And I'm good with it.
Okay. My first issue is I can't believe that you kept a straight face while answering this question.
What?
That you're okay with him posting that? Does he have no shame? I've never seen anything like this before.
What?
He's dunking over 3 kids. I think they're like high school kids, and they don't look like they're that athletic.
I mean,
and they've got like shot blocking extenders.
Yeah.
I don't know what they are. These are just like little kids. And he's dunking, and he's actually mean mugging to people who are taking this video. He's doing the equivalent of chest beating, chest flexing.
Yeah.
Like, did you see what I just did?
One. That's what he probably yelled.
And 1 with 3 high school kids. I don't even know if they play basketball or not. I'm not sure they play basketball. And they're trying to bother his shot with extenders, and he's going to dunk over them.
Yeah, you got to finish amongst the trees.
Oh,
that could be Rudy Gobert or Joel Embiid.
The audacity of this is just mind-blowing to me, that he would actually post this video and be proud of it, because how can you be proud of that?
Yeah.
You're Russell Westbrook. You've averaged triple doubles for the last 5 years. You're now a Los Angeles Laker, and you're dunking over 3 apparently non-athletic high school kids.
Yeah, athletic.
Really?
Yeah.
Are they? They're really athletes? Yeah. They must be superstars at their school.
I don't know about all that.
Yeah, I don't either. And he's proud of that. Yeah. He's gloating over that. This would even be beneath your man LeBron's dignity. There's no we
dunk on folks in the actual game. You know what we did to Nurkic.
Okay, I got that, but that's actually in an NBA basketball game. That's a real game.
But that's what we do, Skip. We got to practice it. We just don't start dunking. We got to practice our dunks on people.
This is vintage, classic Russell Westbrook. This is what you have to deal with. This is now the starting point guard. That's what you tell me. The starting point guard for your Los Angeles Lakers. This is the primary decision maker for your Los Angeles Lakers.
NBA champion Lakers.
Champion Lakers, says Shannon Sharpe. He is predicting a championship with Russell Westbrook at point guard. The same Russell Westbrook that finally, ultimately was rejected by Kevin Durant and quickly rejected by James Harden and then rejected by Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. That same guy who posted this video, shamelessly posted it, is going to be the operator of your Lakers, the distributor?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
The solo act, who is Russell Westbrook. Again, he's a joy to watch. He's a pleasure to watch. He is must-see TV, but I would not want to be on his team.
Man, you know how many times I got turned down for a date? Oh, yeah, I got turned down several times. You know, hey, your loss, you'll see.
Really?
Yeah, you gonna wish. You gonna wish you took this opportunity to be in O'Shea's present. But you said no. You you got your reasons why. Now look.
You got turned
look
down.
at him now. Oh, you're so fine. Ooh,
Really?
you was fine in high school back in the day. I should have. No, you should not have. Stop it. I'll stop him right there and there. Stop.
I can't remember ever being turned down for a date.
That's okay.
I don't know. I just can't remember it.
But the lucky was that, hey, it's Skip. That's okay.
Yep.
It's the one that get accepted.
Okay, so this is the same Russell Westbrook
that's going to win a title with us.
who has led the NBA in turnovers 4 times and finished second 3 times in turnovers.
Okay.
It's the same Russell Westbrook who in usage rate, how much do you have the ball in your hands?
Right.
He led the NBA 4 times and finished second 4 other times. That's 8 of the last 11 years that he's been 1 or 2 in usage rate.
Okay.
So he has to have ball in hands. And his gut feeling, when in doubt, he does that. He attacks basket, and he doesn't even see who's in the way. It can be high school kids with shot-blocking extenders, and he's just going to see rim, slam it at rim.
Right.
And at some point in this season, LeBron James is going to be standing on the perimeter, left empty-handed, shaking his head, saying, how did I sign off on bringing that guy in here? He's hard to win with.
Well, I think it'll probably be like at the end of the season when we're like 61-21. And we're the #1 seed in the West.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, how about the postseason?
Oh,
because that's when Russ really doesn't shine.
This is about to be a breeze.
Really, a breeze, says Shannon Sharpe. And yet I'm looking at this Russell Westbrook as the all-time look-at-me point guard. It's all about him. He's actually a 2-guard masquerading as a point guard.
Most of them are.
But he figured out how, with especially like a Steven Adams, that if he attacks the rim and he feels 2 arms coming from 2 different directions, just leave the ball on the floor. Just drop it behind you, and Steven Adams will follow you to the rim and dunk it, and you'll get what's called an assist.
Right.
And if you get 10 of those a night, you're golden because you're Mr. TD, as in triple-double.
Yep.
Is Anthony Davis going to say, you know what, I'll follow him to the rim every time because maybe I'll get just a leftover dunk? Is that what you want?
No, that's not what's going to happen.
Okay. Yes.
Skip. I mean, I think he felt he had to do that with Steven Adams, or he felt he had to do that in Washington.
Yep.
You got 2 bona fide superstars. You got the best player ever to live in LeBron James.
Yep.
You got Anthony Davis, who has something to prove. I expect him to be what he was the first year in L.A., not the second year. Hired a chef, got a new personal trainer. He's going to be healthy, raring to go. He didn't like the taste that he left in everybody's mouth, mainly himself.
Yep.
And so Russ, coming from D.C., the Wizards, like, man, look here. I ain't no 8 seed. Russ about to be a 1 seed in the West, win the title. And then what will you have to say then?
I won't have to say anything because it ain't happening. You know it, and I know it.
I don't know
You are
anything.
whistling through the proverbial graveyard of your Lakers.
You don't see. Your head hard. You got a hard head.
I do have a hard head, and so do you know who has the hardest head in the NBA? Your point guard.
No,
he
no,
does.
No.
You know it, and I know it.
No.
And I can I see this one more time? I just got to see it one more time. That he's dunking over the little kids, and he's proud of it.
Well, they should have got out of the way.
He's proud of it. He's dunking over the little kids. You know what? I don't think those kids play in the NBA. I don't think they play for the Jazz or the Nuggets or certainly for the Clippers.
Making them tough.
Is that toughening him up?
Yep.
Or they're just slapping him with those boards, right?
Next time you got to go. Hey,
Aren't you a little bit embarrassed of that?
No.
You're not?
Russell putting that work in. Because I know, guess what? You're going to see that during the season. He's going to come down the lane and going to poke on someone.
He's going to poke on, he pokes on a lot of people.
Yeah, exactly.
And furthermore, I don't want to pile on, but the first move that he makes is the most obvious travel in the history of traveling. You can't do that. That's not a step back. If you step back, you got to be shooting the basketball. If we'd see it one more time, he's at the top of the circle. He jumps back.
Why are you nitpicking everything?
I'm not nitpicking. You can't do that, Russ. It won't fly. Even in the NBA, they won't let you get away with that. You're picking up your pivot foot and you're leaping and replanting your pivot foot, and then you're going to dribble. That is a travel. That is a walk. That is a turnover.
1 seed.
And he's led the league in turnovers 4 times and been second 4 more.
1 seed.
1 seed.
Western Conference.
Yeah.
NBA champions. Can I interest you in that?
I think the Western Conference is going to spit you out like sunflower seeds.
Okay. You keep saying, you've been saying that for the longest. You've been saying that.
I'm highly amused by this.
I'm just hoping the injury gods smile on us.
Yeah, I do too.
We breeze through.
Yeah, if the injury gods smile on Kawhi Leonard and he's back by March like I think he will,
I don't think
he's
so.
In such trouble.
I ain't even worried about that.
Yeah.
And when is Kawhi? Kawhi errs on the side of caution. Remember what Tony Parker said?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard my Kawhi 1,000 times worse than his.
Yeah, but when Kawhi dunks on you, you get clawed and you stay dunked on.
Man, that Kawhi ain't dunking on nobody. That old school one-hand dunk. That ain't nothing.
Really? Yeah, okay.
That ain't nothing.
Yeah, well, it's about to be something.
Your day coming, though.
Kawhi Town.
Your day.
L.A. is Kawhi.
Never. That's never going to happen.
New Balance.
Take that out to Playa Vista. Playa Vista, Kawhi Town.
New Balance forever. Okay, well, before we get to
New
Kawhi
Balance
Town,
forever.
we have Skip's Cowboys in action. We're 2 days away from the season opener between the Cowboys and Bucs, but that hasn't stopped Bruce Arians from heaping praise on Dallas when talking about the Cowboys trio of Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, and Michael Gallup. Tampa Bay's coach said, quote, "It's a huge challenge. They're loaded, and they all do different things. I think that threesome might be the best. I'll argue that ours might be too. It's a hell of a challenge when you have that many guys." Shannon, do you agree?
No, that's the best. First of all, Gallup is too inconsistent with the drops. Amari Cooper is just inconsistent in games. Now, Amari going to get off to a fast start. Watch him the last 8. Well, now they got an extra game. Watch him the last 7, 8 games. Disappear. Be really good at Jerry World on the road. And CeeDee Lamb, hey, he still has some work to do. I know you think he's about to take that next step. I know a lot of people think he's going to take the next step. I'm not convinced that's going to happen. So with that being said, no. I got first of all, I got Tennessee. Julio Jones, A.J. Brown, and they got Josh Reynolds came over from the Rams. Any receiver with those two is going to be higher than the Cowboys. Period. In the discussion. He said it, the Bucs.
You sure Julio's still Julio?
He better than anybody on the Cowboys. That's factual. A.J. Brown better than anybody on the Cowboys. That's factual. And when you compare him with A.J., with Josh Reynolds with those two, they're better than you. Tampa, better than you. As a matter of fact, Tyreek and Kelsey, anybody with them, better than you.
Who's the third?
It doesn't matter.
Nico?
Me. 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 It doesn't even matter. They're better than you, and you know it. But again, hold on, wait a minute. How you got a top 3 receiving core, a top 5 offensive lineman, a guy, Zeke that's going to bounce back, a defense that's going to be flipped, and you David? How you get David out of all of that?
That's what Jerry said.
Yeah.
David is going to go slay Goliath at Tampa.
Skip. If David was an adult If David was a comparable size to Goliath, we would have had no story. But he was a shepherd boy. He was a boy.
About to be king.
Who slaved, they said Goliath, the Bible says he was over 9 foot tall, said his spear weighed 150 pounds.
I don't doubt it.
So that's how you get David and Goliath.
Yep.
If you got comparable receivers, if you got a comparable running back, you got a quarterback that everybody say top 5. He in the MVP. Skip Bayless came out here 2 weeks ago and told me Dak got the 5th or 6th best odds for MVP. Defense, one of the most underrated. Is DeMarcus Lawrence. That's what they said. DeMarcus Lawrence, underrated.
I didn't say that. Pro Football Focus.
Yeah, you that's your Bible.
Yeah.
So you swear by it. No.
No. Okay. First of all, I would like to applaud Bruce Arians for taking the correct way to walk up to this game. You gotta send bouquets because it doesn't do you any good to take shots. I've got a rookie defensive tackle out of UCLA. UCLA's off to a great start, but he's not there anymore. He's now a Cowboy who's already taking shots at the GOAT, Tom Brady. Can't do it. It's just not smart. Jerry Jones, it's not smart to suddenly portray yourself as David, who is going to go slay Goliath on opening Thursday night at GOAT. Don't do it because GOAT's going to say, okay, Jerry, I got something for you.
I'm hoping he does that.
I'm going to humiliate you, and I'm going to kick your tail so hard that you're going to have your tail between your legs all the way back home to Dallas, Texas, right? That's what's about to happen. You cannot provoke the GOAT because he is very provocable in a Jordan-esque way where if you say the slightest little thing about him that he takes sideways, you are in big trouble because you're going to bring out the psycho Tom and he's going to play it like it's the Super Bowl.
Right.
Okay, so that's one way to approach this game. And then we got Bruce Arians saying they could be the best trio in football. Well, potentially they could be if CD's what I think he is, but he hasn't been it yet. He was a rookie without Dak. He had Dak for like 4.5 games, right? And yet I saw flashes, I saw bursts of a CeeDee Lamb that I think is going to take over as the #1 receiver in Dallas.
With the flashes you saw was your season going up in flames once Dak went out.
Did you see that catch in Minneapolis?
Ah, man!
Well, I don't know. Do you remember it? I think I remember it. Oh, wait, we have it. Who knew?
I saw 10 catches this last year was better than that. 10.
What a catch. That's the best catch of the year.
No, it was not.
Yes,
no, it was not no best catch of the year.
He had to like 180 in the air and catch it straight over the DB's helmet. God, what a catch. That's the man. That's who's going to take over.
Everything the Cowboys does get hyped out of proportion.
Okay, so Michael Gallup is sneaky fast. He just gets behind people when you least expect it. And just to prove my point, remember some of the catches he made last year?
Yeah, I remember some of the drops, too.
Yeah, could we see some of them? Like opening night at Rams, he caught one
that was a push-off.
It was not a push-off. It was spectacular. He just beat the best cornerback in football. This is opening night at SoFi. He's just gone. And they called a foul. How can you say that's a push-off?
Right there, Skip. You see it, Steve?
He didn't push off. They're hand fighting. I think it should have been pass interference on Jalen Ramsey. But
you see his hand right there, Skip.
He's not pushing.
Yeah.
He's
Get
not
the extension.
Pushing. That's ridiculous. What is the ref seeing?
Right there.
That at least sets up overtime, if not
OPI.
a big upset win at SoFi to start the season. And then remember what happened after Dak went down and Andy Dalton came in? Who saved the day against the Giants? It was that guy, Michael Gallup. So he is sneaky deep. That's what he is.
Skip, but he's inconsistent. He'll make tough.
Sneaky deep. Sneaky deep.
I mean, this was a great catch.
Okay.
Not this one, the other one.
Well, that was a pretty good
that nice toe tap.
Okay. That's Michael Gallup. That's what he can do at his apex.
But the other one, this is the one.
Okay, this is the one to win the game.
This is the catch here.
Win the game. Okay, that'll work.
Yes.
Right?
But then, Skip, I see him drop like routine.
He got interfered with on that.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Okay, so that's what I got, and he's my 3rd best receiver. I'm with you. Listen, Amari on Hard Knocks, when he's running those routes, I'm not sure there's anybody better in the business running those routes. With the quickness and the burst and the da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
He's got that.
He got
that
it.
thing? You've seen it before.
Yes.
Where you've just got that thing where it's just hard to...
I just don't see it enough on the road.
Okay, I don't either, but I only know 2019 on the road when they were in position to go win the East, right?
Yes.
And then all of a sudden I see at Jets, your favorite all-time Cowboy loss.
When he caught that one pass and then took himself out of the game?
He just took himself out of the game.
Okay.
and then we can go at New England when he literally took himself out.
Stephon Gilmore took him out.
He just said, no mas. It was, I can't do this anymore. I can't. He's got me. He owns me psychologically. I quit. I just go stand on the sidelines and give me a cape, right? It's cold.
Yes.
I need a cape.
Yes.
And then at Philly, it got so bad in the fourth quarter that Jason Garrett yanked him out because he did not like how half-heartedly
And put a tight end in.
He put a tight end in for the closing drive.
Yeah.
Well, he put Tavon Austin in, and Dak actually overthrew Tavon, who did get behind a cornerback, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm having a hard time swallowing that, overcoming that.
Yeah.
So that's what I got, those three. But I can't, like, let's just start. I get what you're saying about Tennessee, but I'll just keep it on Tampa. And Bruce Arians knows in his heart of hearts, he's got Mike Evans. He is he's 6 feet 5 inches tall. Listen, when Brady needs a completion.
Yeah.
It's 3rd and 8. I need to find somebody who I know can get open and just be indefensible. It's Mike Evans.
Yeah.
Because he led that team in catches last year, and he's a 3-time Pro Bowler. And then Chris Godwin, he did make 1 Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
And he is a made man to me. He's proven at the highest level. And Brady loves him.
Catches.
He makes tough catches. He goes over the middle. He's got guts. He's got physicality to him. He's a big receiver. And then how about Antonio Brown? He finally had this first surgery of his career.
Healthy, he's the best of all of them.
Okay, well, he got cleaned up in his knee. You know, they say he's running the way he did 5 years ago.
Healthy, he's the best
So he's
receiver.
33 years of age, but he has made 7 Pro Bowls. And if he's half of what Arians says he's been in practice, you better look out because he's going to lead this team in catches, right? Out of the slot, right? Okay, then what if we start going down the line? Because it doesn't end with 3 in Tampa. Let's go to the tight ends. There's this guy named Gronk. Okay, I got, as I call him, Shannon Jarwin, Blake Jarwin, and I got Dalton Schultz, and they're both pretty good. Blake missed the whole year last year.
They're not better than Gronk, Brayton Howard.
Cameron Brate and O.J. Howard coming off Achilles, but he's a beast. He's a monster. He's, what, 260 and can run, what, 4.4 or something, 4.5, okay? And then, you know what little Scotty Miller does? He just gets behind people and catches deep balls, and he's got guts. He's not afraid, right?
What, Johnson kid?
Tyler Johnson, you know, remember the catch he made at New Orleans? It was a crucial fourth quarter catch. And then that Jalen Darden that they drafted in the 4th round out of North Texas, Brady's already raving about him, and he did make the team, and he's in the rotation. Okay, I can't go that deep, right?
No, you can't.
Okay, so that's what, you want to talk about weaponry? You want to talk about an arsenal of receivers? Nobody's got the depth that Tampa Bay has. You can throw all the Tennessee.
No.
You can't keep going.
Nobody has that
you
kind
get
of
to
depth.
Josh Reynolds, and then it just starts to tail off, right?
But Skip, look, Bruce Arians doing what you're supposed to do. You pat him on the back. It's like a father and a son. Hey, son, you did a good job. Somebody clean that up. You know what I'm saying? That's all Bruce Arians did.
Okay.
He patted him on the head, tell him what a good job he did, and like,
okay.
good job.
And I'll finish this off by saying, you know who Brady loves to throw to? His running backs, right? It's just, you can call him check down Charlie all you want. But Gio Bernard, you know what he does? He just loops right out of the backfield and gets in the flat, and he's got burst. And if you get him the ball in space against a backer, you just can't get him on the ground.
Well, that's the thing that makes Brady so difficult to defend because he's not married to anything. If you think he wants to throw the deep ball, he'll check it down. He will force you to come up and then throw the ball over your head. But he will. This is what he always likes to do. He's always liked to take that one shot. He gets in the red area late in the half. He's going to take that shot. He says either I'm going to get a touchdown or I'm going to get a pass interference.
Okay.
Because they normally skip. They normally defer. So he wants that score going into the half, getting the ball coming out of the half, so he can really try and bury you.
All right. So what about playoff Lenny?
He played well in the playoff.
Hey, Leonard Fournette, did he not make some big catches down at the goal line? If it's 3rd and goal at the 3, you don't think he runs a little option?
I rewatched some of the Super Bowl, and I was watching how Tom was like looking down the field. Fournette was in the backfield, sneak out over the middle, and next thing you know, he's got a first down on 3rd and 8. It's little stuff like that. You're like, damn, we got everything defense except the back that we thought was blocking. All of a sudden, he doesn't need the help. He sneaks out. It's a first down.
He can catch it. Ronald Jones can catch it. I know Zeke can too, but I haven't seen enough of that. So
they don't throw it to the backs enough. They're only looking to throw to Pollard. He's the only guy, screen, skip, try to get him at the flat, get him mismatch. Tom Brady is always throwing to his backs.
Okay, so I like my 3 receivers. I love all of Tampa's receivers. And it doesn't just stop with those.
Well, that's not your team. Your team is the Dallas Cowboys. The Bucs came into existence in 76. So that's not your team. You had a team 16 years before them in 60, the Cowboys. That's not your team. The Cowboys are your team. And you guess what? You're going to go down with your team again. You're not making the playoffs again.
What you forget is the GOAT has been my quarterback for about 20 years.
That's okay.
I just can't help loving him.
No.
He didn't even play for my team.
No. One player team. That's a what? No. You got a team. Oh, you love all things Cowboys. You liked all the Cowboys when they had Ryan Leaf playing, when they had Quincy Carter playing, when they had Tony Romo, when they had Drew Bledsoe. It didn't matter. Babe Loefflenberg. Clint
I watched Babe start a playoff game in Atlanta, actually, believe it or not. I am TB12 all day and all night. You know it, and I know it. You've tried to retire him for 5 straight years on this show, and he has made you eat nothing but crow.
As long as the Cowboys retired, I'm good. I'll do Tom a couple of more years. Long as the Cowboys stay in the cellar, I'm good.
All I need is for the Cowboys to win the East.
No, that doesn't
That'll win me about 100 cases of dew. And all I need is for Brady to win his 2nd straight Super Bowl and 8th overall. That will win me 100 more cases of dew. And I'm good.
The way I'm calculating, Skip, I don't think it's going to happen.
I'm good. I got a 4th swimming pool.
Okay.
Diet Mountain Dew.
Okay.
You're good? You're good? Okay, all right, we're moving on then. Has King James officially been dethroned as the best player on the planet? A former teammate thinks so. You may be surprised too. Stick around, I'll tell you next.
No mercy, no mercy, no mercy. And I won't back down. And I won't back down.
Former NBA champ Kendrick Perkins has played with both LeBron and Kevin Durant, so he's familiar with both players. But recently, he went on the record with a bold statement about where the two rank, saying, quote, Kevin Durant is the best player in the world. I don't really know if LeBron James even cares about being the best player in the world anymore, going on to age 37. So it's about time somebody finally stepped up to the plate and dethroned him, because he's been carrying the torch for so long. So, Shannon, are you surprised that he said this?
No, I'm not surprised that he said it, but I vehemently disagree with his assessment of this. The last time we saw Kevin Durant, he lost the Game 7 on his home court. LeBron James was unhealthy in the playoffs. I don't know how Kevin Durant got to jump Giannis. Kevin Durant won one game when after Kyrie got hurt and a hobbled James Harden. KD won one game. One. Now, if he had gotten this team to the NBA Finals without Kyrie or hobbled James Harden, okay, now we're going to talk. Now I'm going to have an open and honest conversation about who's the best player. And I'm not so sure I wouldn't say Kevin Durant. But why are we so dismissive of Giannis? Did we not see what he did in Game 7 against Kevin Durant? 40, 13, and 5. He had 30 points in 6 of the 7 games. You people realize he did average 30, 13, and 5 for the entire playoffs. Shot 57% from the floor. He was just 35, 13, and 5 in the finals. And in a closeout game, had a 50-piece. Really? What the problem that I have with people being dismissive of Giannis, they were like, man, Shaq was so dominant. Giannis ain't got no talent. No, he cannot shoot the ball like Kevin Durant or Steph Curry. He's not skilled at handling the ball like a James Harden or Kyrie Irving. He's just dominant. And we used to reward that when we liked the player. Now, all of a sudden, we don't like Giannis. He's as dominant as Shaq when I told you that. Yes, he is. These are the kind of numbers that Shaq put up in the NBA Finals. Exactly what Giannis did. Giannis is the best player currently.
Is he? Wait, are you saying Giannis is better than LeBron?
What part didn't you get? The part
I didn't get any of that. You've never said that.
Giannis is currently, I'm all about updating your resume.
Really?
LeBron James is going to have to update his resume. It's good. Remember when they came out, what did they say? I think they said something about it was KD and Giannis. Okay, LeBron was the 3rd best player behind KD and Giannis. And you remember what he put out on his social media? Wash King, just add more fuel to the fire. So he absolutely cares. He absolutely listens. He putting that time in right now. He off the Italy. He did a little wine sipping, getting his mind right.
No, you got to be careful over there. This COVID's out of control.
He in an isolated situation. Just him by himself. And everybody get tested.
Okay.
But anyway, back to my original
Might
schedule.
have to quarantine when you get back.
back to my originally scheduled thoughts. Giannis is the best player currently in the NBA.
How can you say Giannis is the best player when he's not even the closer for his own team? It's preposterous to me.
Don't matter.
How can you say Giannis is the best player when in playoff series after series after series over the previous 4 years, we saw teams build a wall against Giannis and just take him completely out of the game?
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
How can we say he's the best player when he has no answer to the wall because he has no mid-range jump shot?
Where was the wall at this year?
Well, that's a great question that you should ask Monty Williams, because he was the first coach in all of Giannis's playoff runs who said, you know what? I've got a young 7-footer named DeAndre Ayton, and he can take Giannis head up, solo coverage, singling up, one-on-one, and I will take Giannis out of the game. And guess what happened? Those numbers happened.
Yeah.
And it's on Monty, because DeAndre Ayton had no chance against Giannis.
Well, he did average 32 and 13 against KD and the Nets. So where was their wall?
Well, all I know is I keep telling you, KD did not have Kyrie. He had a shell of James Harden, who was actually a liability for that team because he couldn't run a lick and couldn't run a fast break.
Well, that's what
one fast break, he got the ball, and it looked like he had a step, and he had to just stop and let everybody go by him because he couldn't run.
That's where the best player on the planet takes over.
He
and
did.
says, I got this.
He had masterpiece efforts in Game 5 and Game 7. Two of the all-time great all-around games I have ever watched any NBA player play this side of Michael Jordan.
And then what happened?
And what happened? He made one of the great clutch playoff shots ever, and his toenail was on the three-point line. And if it's not, if it's 1/10 of an inch back, we're having a different conversation, because Giannis has to go home. That's what happened. And then in overtime, it took Chris Middleton making the shot to win the game, not Giannis.
Oh, Giannis got it started.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah, but your guy went
he
over
always
6
gets it started, but he can't close
that
it.
masterpiece, the masterpiece that your guy was playing, Giannis came behind him and poured a whole bucket of paint right on top of it.
Did he? Okay. I've never seen anybody play a better game where he played the whole game.
Lost.
Played 48 minutes. I don't know
Why
how
you do that?
Yeah.
Skip, you can't do that.
Let's get back to our man, KP, Kendrick Perkins.
Yeah.
We've had him here on the show in the past.
I love Perk.
We know him. We know Perk. We know what he's all about. He is simply the biggest LeBron James defender and apologist this side of Shannon Sharpe.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, he is. He just is. He's at least in your league when it comes to LeBron. And he knows LeBron, and he obviously played with and for LeBron. So I get that, and I respect that. I honor that. But it also makes me wonder about, is there some ulterior motive here?
Because, there you go.
Well, no, I want to know. What's the psychology of this? Suddenly, he just flipped on LeBron.
Skip,
and he's saying, it's over. It's time.
No, Skip.
Go home.
He said, no, that's not what he said. He said after 19 years, it's about damn time somebody took the throne.
It's about damn time somebody dethroned King James. But he said it happened. And you're not saying it happened.
It ain't about no, so what ulterior motive did they have?
And Kendrick did play with Kevin for quite a while in OKC. He saw it up close and personal, and his conclusion is, I still say to this day that Kevin Durant is the best player in this league because he is the best offensive player that this game has ever seen. I can't go that far, but this is his point. And he doesn't get enough credit for what he brings on the defensive side.
He ain't close to Giannis defensively.
Okay.
Let's just start with that. He's not close to Giannis defensively.
Well, Giannis is not close to him offensively.
No, that's not true. He can't shoot the ball like Kevin Durant, but the numbers are right there. Skip, this is what I don't get, and I need somebody at home. Y'all help me if I'm wrong. When have we seen a guy win one game without his 2 stars, then get rewarded for beating the Olympics when you got the best players on your squad? Now, all of a sudden, if you win the Olympic gold medal, that goes into whether you're the best player on the planet.
You think Team USA would have won the Olympics without Kevin Durant? You know and I know, no.
All I know is,
as you told me going into the Olympics, all those teams are so much better.
They are better.
Yeah.
That don't mean they're better than us. They are better. Because guess what? They play basketball now. It's not like 92 when you had like 4 or 5 players sprinkled out on the other 30 teams. Now you got 2 or 3 guys on every team, although they're not to the level of everybody that's on the NBA roster, on the Team USA. But Skip, I've never seen anything like this. Kevin Durant won one game without Harden being his best and without Kyrie. One game. He didn't even get to the Eastern Conference Finals. Okay, beat Giannis.
What do you mean he won one game?
Once Kyrie got hurt in Game 3, he won Game 5. Kevin Durant won Game 5. Didn't win another game. He had Game 7 on his home court. Giannis went to his house. He didn't knock on the door. Kevin Durant heard him walking. He kicked the door in and Kevin was looking through the peephole. 40, 13, and 5 on his head in your building.
Did Kevin Durant have Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday?
The best
riding shotgun?
Whoa.
Shotgun? Because I'm talking about shotgun.
Just a second. When I tried to make this very argument with you, with Kevin Durant, when he had Klay Thompson and Steph Curry and Draymond riding shotgun, you said it didn't matter. You said it did not matter.
You said it didn't matter because you were the one who told me that after your team came back from 3-1 down, that Draymond fled into the parking lot with his cell phone trying to call Kevin Durant crying, saying, you got to come save us.
He did.
He came, the whole team went to recruit him in Southampton on Long Island on July the 4th so that he would come and save them, and he saved them twice in a row. 2 more rings they won, and he was the MVP finals. That's all you need to know. Period. End of story.
What you did?
Best player on planet.
Well, if he's
not close.
Well, if he's best player on the planet, he got to get by Giannis. All he got to do is get by Giannis, and then I can confirm that.
Well,
but he
not
didn't
if
get
you
past
lose your whole team. You lose 2/3 of one of the great trios in history.
Hold on, time out. Wait a minute. LeBron lost 2/3 of his. You said LeBron should have beat Golden State.
No, well, yeah, I did because he had him down 2-1 in his house.
Okay, what about...
You tell me he's the GOAT. I have never said Kevin Durant was the GOAT one time.
Best player on the planet. Best player on the planet can't be up 3-1 and lose. The best player on the planet can't be up 2-0 and lose. Your guy was up 2-0 and lost. He lost a Game 7. How many Game 7s has LeBron lost on his home court? How many?
Well, he lost a Game 4 to Kevin Durant that no one should have lost. If you're that guy, if you're that GOAT.
But you see, Skip, what you do, if you're that guy, you don't lose. LeBron, that guy, you can't lose. Kevin Durant, well, he ain't have this. Well, he ain't have that. His shoe was too big. No, we don't do excuses here. Giannis went to his house, like you told me Kevin Durant did to LeBron, went to his house, beat him, 40, 13, and 5. What more can the man do?
If you ask 30 GMs right now, for 1 year, just next year, you want Giannis or KD, you know it'd be 30-0 on Kevin Durant because they know he is that guy.
As a matter of fact, any of the 30 GMs up here talking, it's me and you. And I want Giannis Antetokounmpo, a.k.a. Greek feet.
You want him at the free throw line late in games?
Guess what?
It's a joke. It's a joke. I'm sitting with my wife, Ernestine, in the Olympics. The gold medal game is getting tight, and I said, watch what happens. Kevin Durant will run to the basketball as they inbound on the far end. Like, give me the ball and get out of the way because I'm going down to the free throw line. They're going to foul me. Dame Lillard had just gagged 2 straight free throws. He's not that guy. And Kevin said, I got this. And he goes down there and stands by himself at the free throw line. LeBron's worst nightmare. And he swishes both of them, and it's gold. That's who he is. You want to talk about clutch? You want to talk about a clutch shot at the end of that Game 7 regulation?
How many gold medals do you think they've given out in Olympic basketball? How many finals MVP? They started giving out the finals MVP in 1969. Jerry Worth won it on the losing ball club. How many gold medals?
Your point is what?
My point is they give those gold medals out. A bunch of people got them. Ain't a whole lot of people got finals MVP. And my guy got that this year against your guy. Beat your guy in his house. How you lose in your house? They say a dog will fight harder in his own backyard. Your man gave up.
I hear somebody leaving one bandwagon for another one, and I'm shocked by this because I hear Shannon Sharpe.
This is not about LeBron.
He's no longer Shannon Sharpe. He is Giannis Sharpe.
No. This is not about LeBron.
You're on Team Giannis now. LeBron, are you watching? Maverick, are you watching? Rich, are you watching? Randy, are you watching? This man has turned on you on national TV.
No, this was not about LeBron. Is he the best player? The question was, has Kevin Durant passed? Is Kevin Durant the best player? No, Giannis. Giannis is the best player going. He the hottest thing out.
The truth is, I don't trust either one of you or Kendrick Perkins because Kendrick Perkins knows enough. He does not cross the king. He does not cross the king.
Giannis is a CLB. That's what Giannis is.
I think
Kevin Durant is Donda.
Kendrick Perkins is playing into the new narrative, wash king. He's just trying. I know Perk, he's probably telling LeBron off air, away from social, I got your back. I got your back. I'm just trying to motivate you, right?
You heard what Drake said. Huh. He gonna keep that thing a buck. Call him Giannis.
No. I think you are legit jumping on Giannis's bandwagon because you see the end of the king.
No, what I'm going to do, I'm going to give that man his flowers right now. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah. I'm going to give the man his flowers currently.
You're attempting to discredit and derail the Kevin Durant Express right now. And you can't.
Hold on. I'm not saying Kevin Durant is not great. I'm not saying that. But I just don't understand. If Giannis, the way you did LeBron, Kevin Durant went to his house, beat him, won the championship, finals MVP, he's the best player. Giannis did the exact same thing to KD. But KD gets to keep the crown. How?
Chris Paul said after game 2 of the finals, we have just got to find some way to build that wall. That's what he said. It was a message to his head coach who did not listen.
Okay, let me ask you a question. What did the Nets do? Because he was 32, 13, and 5 against the Nets. So did they build a wall and drop to 40, 13, and 5 in Game 7? So what wall did they build?
They just think Kevin's just better than he is, and they'll just figure it out.
Maybe they built a wall and brought a ladder for Giannis to jump over it. All I know is Giannis got the job done on the road. Do we know what the hostile environment of a Game 7 on the road in his building?
Yep.
Did it to him. Did it to him one more time. Once is never enough. You remember that song,
Shannon.
Skip? Old Captain?
Yeah, Captain Tennille. I can't believe you would ever listen to a Captain Tennille song. I am dumbfounded by that.
I love the Cap.
Shannon Sharpe.
Yeah, the Cap.
Shannon, you have lost. You know in your heart of hearts,
what, Skip?
Kevin Durant is the best player on the planet. I've been trying to tell you that for 3 years.
Okay, well,
and finally, everybody's coming over to my side. I told you.
The guy was first team All NBA, first team All Defense. He's Finals MVP. I don't know what more you can ask. He's just come. I mean, he's a 2-time regular season MVP. He's only one Finals MVP around Kevin Durant now. He's a Defensive Player of the Year.
50% free throw shooter.
He could be 10.
No closer.
Averaging and think about that. He's shooting 50% from the floor and giving you 28 and 14.
Yep. I get Perk. There's ulterior motive going on here. I don't get you. You're just so angry about Kevin Durant. It's hit you right between the eyes. You finally said, I got to give up on LeBron. I got to defend Giannis.
No, Skip. This is not about giving up on LeBron. You got to update your resume. LeBron got hurt. LeBron is in the lab. LeBron will come back. Those words, you will rue the day that you ever cheered, that you ever uttered something blasphemy about this man's name.
LeBron will come back from the locker room after he left with 5 minutes left in Game 5 at Phoenix when they're getting blown out, and he said, I can't associate with this mess anymore. I'm going to the locker room. Will he come back?
At least LeBron came back. I know somebody after up 3-1, he left the team completely.
I don't know who you're talking about.
You know who I'm talking about.
I don't.
Up 3-1. And we're enjoying the very team.
Oh, that guy. Well, that guy was stuck with the guy you're now stuck with, Russell Westbrook.
All I'm scared.
Kevin said, I can't win with him.
You see what you try to do? What you try to do, you talk about, oh, I'm hating on KD. No, I'm just highlighting Giannis. That's it. Ain't no hate. Kevin Durant is good. Kevin Durant is historically, transcendently good.
Yep.
But y'all make it seem like Giannis fettuccine, like he's stir-fry, and he is not.
Who you want at the late game free throw line?
Giannis ain't gonna let it get there. Giannis ain't gonna let you get to the late game free throw.
Well, if it does get there, you better have Chris Middleton at the line. That's all.
Y'all had a lead in the fourth quarter. Remember, y'all had the lead, and Giannis walked y'all down in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And then in overtime, what'd he do? What happened in overtime?
I'm ashamed for you. You've given up the king for Giannis.
No, I ain't giving up no king. I ain't giving up no king. You keep talking about the best player. I say Giannis is the best player. He is right now. You got to update your resume. Everybody update your resume. That's what you do. Hey, you don't get to live off for 10 years. That's what you try to do because you still holding on to those championships. There have been several other people.
Giannis has more holes in his game than Wisconsin cheese.
That's okay. And guess what? So can you imagine if he wanted to fill in just one of those holes? What you want the man to average? 35 and 15? You want him to be Wilt, huh? Because that's what you're headed for. If he patch one hole, the free throws, if he shoots 35% from the three, you want the man to average 35 and 15 a night. Is that what that's what you're asking for, Skip? Then he'd really be unstoppable.
It's a nice try.
It's a nice try. He did that.
You lost again.
He did that. Who got the championship? The man still got the trophy in Greece. He let everybody hold. He let Rachel Nichols say, "You're part of this." Everybody holding it. As a matter of fact, if I go to Milwaukee, he might let me hold it.
He would, for sure.
Carry this energy to the next one, because I have a feeling you guys are going to have a lot to say. Do we finally have the real reason Bill Belichick sided with Mac Jones over Cam Newton?
This is ugly.
Stick around.
Very.
No mercy, no mercy, no mercy. And I won't back down. And I won't back down.
It's now been a week since the Patriots cut Cam Newton, and we're slowly getting more insight into Bill Belichick's decision to go with Mac Jones instead. One possible factor? Well, according to former New England linebacker Rob Ninkovich, Jones was actually helping Cam learn the Patriots playbook despite being a rookie himself. Ninkovich also added that the first-round pick was having fewer mental errors and maintained a better overall understanding of the playbook. So, Shannon, do you actually believe this?
Skip, I believe two things can be true. I can believe that Mac Jones made fewer mental errors than Cam. I believe he had a better grasp of the playbook than Cam. But this notion that, I also saw what Nico said, well, he didn't run no huddle, he didn't run 2 minutes. He ran it last year. I watched him run it against the Seahawks. I watched him run it against Buffalo. I watched it.
Yeah, he did.
He did it. So to say that because they didn't allow him to do it this year, he couldn't, is not, I don't believe that to be true. I don't believe that to be the case. And then Coach Belichick came on WEEI and said it had nothing positive. Now, this doesn't mean Ninkovich is lying. Skip, but what I think is at play here is that Rodney Harrison, who I know very well, me and Rodney started playing against each other, I think, in '94. We were in the same division. He was with the Chargers, I was with the Broncos, obviously. Ninkovich, Damian Woody, these are old guard, old school Patriots. This is the way they did it. There was no showmanship. There was no showboating. There was no laughing. There was no dancing. There was just football.
Yep.
Anybody that upsets that, all of a sudden, that's not the Patriot way. And they condemn that. And it seems to me that's what these guys are doing. Not what Cam, and I'm not trying to say Cam was 2015 Cam, but I just think it's more to do with the outward appearance of Cam than more so the substance of Cam.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like to me. I think now, Skip, I think this is just unnecessarily piling on. To make it seem like Cam has been in the league a decade, and here he is, a second year in the offense, and here's a rookie just come in learning the offense, is telling Cam what he needs to do in this offense. That could be the case, Skip, but I just find that hard to believe. I just think these guys have a perception or understanding of how the Patriots players should conduct themselves. And anybody that does not conduct themselves in that way is going to run afoul with those guys because this is what they did. They told the line. It was this, Skip. There was none of that. Yeah, they played rap music. But Cam's personality, they've never had anybody like with Cam's personality. And even Gronk, Gronk have them a good old time. He's chugging beers in the parade and all that stuff. But for whatever reason, Cam was an outsider. And they look down on outsiders.
I hear you and I raise you because these remarks from Ninkovich, I have respect for him.
Yeah.
Because he was there.
Yeah.
He did this.
I think he won 3 Super Bowls with him, didn't he?
Yep. He was a Pro Bowl. I think he was a Pro Bowl.
I think he made one.
Yeah. But these remarks left a bad taste in my mouth because all of a sudden it is open season on Cam Newton. And it's because Bill Belichick cut him. So now all bets are off.
Yes.
Let it fly.
Yes.
Come one, come all. Line up to, as you say, pile on with every little bit. And I have no way of knowing whether this is true or not, but it seems a little overstated, a little exaggerated that Mac Jones was teaching Cam the playbook after Cam was there all of last year.
Right.
I'm sorry, I don't think Cam's an idiot.
Right.
What rankles me, what gives me pause, what frankly in the end horrifies me is are we creeping back into black quarterback syndrome where, oh, the black quarterback doesn't have the mental capability that the white quarterback has? Even a young 20, whatever he is, 22-year-old, right? 23-year-old, straight out of Alabama. He can't process as quickly as Mac. Mac just absorbed it, and then in meetings, he's having to teach it to Cam, who's only been there for a whole year.
Right.
It's just hard for me to swallow that.
Right.
I don't like the echoes of that. I don't, because I lived through it, you've lived through, we've come a long way in this regard, and all of a sudden it feels like we're taking a step backward.
Right.
And it bothers me because Cam Newton won a national championship at Blinn Junior College, and then he won a national championship at Auburn. And I got it. He had a little incident episode in the dorm at Florida that got him kicked out of that program, forced him to go to Blinn. And I got it that his father, the reports were, had delivered him to Auburn, and so his father got booted out of the national championship. He couldn't even go to the game when Auburn
the
played
Heisman ceremony.
right? Or the Heisman ceremony. I got all that. But Cam Newton is a football player at the highest level. He won an MVP. He lifted a team all the way to the Super Bowl. And you can't do that if you can't process,
Correct.
you know? You just can't. I'm sorry, the game is it's too fast, it's too hard. You have to have complete control of the playbook and the play calls, and I believe he does at the highest level.
Right.
So I just don't like the implication here. It smells.
Right. I just like what Coach Belichick said. Look, Cam came here. He worked hard. He gave us everything he had. But right now, Mac is our future quarterback, and so that's where we're going. That's where we are. Like I said, Skip. Look, the kid was impressive. I mean, Skip. It's not like they cut Cam and the kid was stinking it up. The kid was impressive.
No, he was very impressive. Well, I told you, I'm eye testing it. It looked like Cam played very well, and the kid played a little better.
Right. And it was close, and you a firm believer. If it's close, just go with the rookie.
Yeah, no, I got it. But when you start talking about MEs, as in that's what they
middle errors,
it's huge.
Yeah,
that is. Those are the two most crucial letters.
Yeah, because
Patriot Nation.
Yes, Skip. Because you keep if you keep making the same mistake, either you're not learning it or we're not teaching it properly. And and that's what Mike used to tell us all the time. Either I need to get new coaches or I need to get new players. And if I need to, I'll replace both of you. So you can't keep making the same mistake because that's what gets you beat. And the Patriots do a great job. They force you to make mistakes. They don't make mistakes. Skip, how many times in a close ball game you see them always do the right things? You never see them guys dive to try to get the ball at the pylon. No. It's not worth it. Coach Belichick says we can't get the ball in from the 1 yard line or the half-yard line 4 times. We don't deserve to win. It's not worth you having it punched out of your hand, it rolled out the end zone, we lose the ball. Okay. They do all the right things, but like I said, Skip, it just seems unnecessary to me to have this kind of look. I have a critique, but like you said, when you start getting into that, the MEs, and I just think it had more to do with Cam's personality, Cam, the way he carried himself. I think it had more to do with that. Okay, it well could have. He's got showmanship about him. He's got a huge personality. He wants to play happy. He wants to be happy at practice. Right. And not the Patriot way. No. Just not how they did business. And yet, if he hadn't gotten COVID last year, I think they would have been in business. Right. I do. Or if they hadn't had a mix-up. Yeah. And then Mac Jones gets an opportunity to get all the reps. I don't know what that was about. And then Coach Belichick likes what he sees. Like, well, okay, you know what? I think this kid can handle it. Yeah. Or, you brought this up 100 times. Or if Cam had just said, I'm going to get vaccinated because I got it last year. Right. I got to get vaccinated. Correct. Well, he didn't, so you're on the thinnest of ice with that head coach. That is correct. Okay? I got that. But this piling on, Mac is teaching him the playbook. It just seems like... Yeah. I just find that hard, Skip, for a rookie, even the smartest of rookies. Yeah. And I've been around some great rookies, but it's hard for me to see a scenario in which a veteran quarterback that's been in the system is being taught the system by a rookie quarterback that's only been in the system for 6 months. Skip, I'm not saying that could not be true, but I haven't seen it. And like I said, I've seen everything, but I just find it hard to believe. It could be true. It could very well be true. But I'm just saying I haven't seen it, and I haven't heard anybody tell me was, hey, man, that dude is really sharp. Be in other situations. It is not. I'm not just talking about quarterback skill. I'm talking about any position.
I got it. There's been so much piling on, even from Jerry Jones saying, "Oh, we very easily
he's easy to evaluate.
He's easy to evaluate." Translation: we have no use for him. Right?
That's basically what he's saying.
Enough of that has transpired that Cam's going to have a hard time getting a job.
Yes, it is, Skip.
Right?
Because what's the perception? Everybody, well, he's not the same. He can't do it anymore. He's set in his ways. He wants to run. He's not that accurate. Yada yada yada. Skip, remember we talked about it in free agency last year. It was June.
Yep.
Coach nobody was like blowing his phone up. Coach Belichick says, "Hey,
let's try it again."
Yeah.
Until Mac Jones fell in his lap at 15.
So you're right, Skip. It might be a long wait.
A long wait. It might be
a wait that never comes.
That's right.
Well, the Cowboys are not interested in Cam. They've made that clear. But are they ready for the spotlight of playing in the NFL's season opener? That is.
They're not interested in winning either. Some things that.
No mercy, no mercy, no mercy. And I won't back down. And I won't back down.
Opening night is just 2 days away, and Dak Prescott is ready for the spotlight as the Cowboys look to take down the Bucs. Take a listen to the quarterback's take on what it means to be playing on the big stage.
I love it the way it is. Yeah, I mean, Thursday night game, starting the season off. Yeah, I wouldn't want it any other way, to be honest. I love night games. Love playing on prime time. So I mean, I think it's just set for the perfect stage. Them coming off of the Super Bowl title, and then obviously us having fans back to full capacity. I think this is what the NFL and the world needs.
Okay, Shannon, is this matchup what the NFL and what the world needs?
No, they needed a better matchup, and the Cowboys isn't it. You're right. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they deserve to be here. The reigning Super Bowl champs normally gets to play gets to play Thursday night, and normally it's a playoff team from the year before. Like you mentioned, in 2019, you got the Packers and the Bears, but this is the longest-standing NFL rivalry in the NFL.
And the Packers hadn't been very good the year before.
Right.
I think it was 6-9-1.
Yeah, because that's the year Aaron got hurt.
Yeah.
So, Skip, we get that. But 2 years in a row? Cowboys? This is not the matchup we needed, nor that we want. We could have did this later in the season. I would have much preferred Buffalo, the Rams, Indy, playoff contending teams that we think are going to be playoff contending teams again.
Yeah. I mean, some people are picking Buffalo to win the Super Bowl.
Right.
So Buffalo at Tampa, I'm on the edge of my seat.
A lot of people are bullish on the Rams because of Matthew Stafford.
Yep.
And, now Sean McVay has someone that's a proven commodity.
Yep.
With the way he can call plays and this kid's arm.
The Rams actually won at Tampa last year.
Right. So it would have been a great situation to have them go back with Matthew, get an early start and looking at Matthew Stafford so we can see, okay, they might lose, but, okay, I really like what I see from the Rams. But with the Cowboys, midway through the third quarter, I'm going to click because I got to go to work in the morning. I got a strong feeling, Skip. I'm going to hey, I see your text. You still watching the game? No. Ernestine and I playing Uno.
Yeah, I don't think so. I might be playing chase with Hazel, but not that. Okay, so we just got to watch Dak say this, but when I was reading these quotes very early this morning, he's building momentum about love it, love it, love it, love it, perfect stage. And then he says, them coming off the Super Bowl title and us, and I'm reading like, and us, and us.
What is us?
But he just quickly jumped to having fans back to full capacity. And us coming off a division title? No. A playoff win? No. A division title 2 years ago? No. They missed the playoffs both years.
Yeah, coming off 6-10, and you get a primetime game.
8-8 the year before, 6-10 last year, prime time. So I'm a diehard, lifelong Cowboy fan, and all I care about is their ability to win. I don't care about their ability to attract a big TV audience.
Exactly.
I get that.
Right.
But it doesn't do me any good. It actually hurt me in this instance because it hung a big old L on me in week one because no way did they deserve to be in this game. I completely disagree with what Dak is saying. Once you get thrown into it, I guess you have to take the positive way out. Bring it on. We embrace it. but you didn't deserve it because it's completely unfair because you were terrible last year.
Yeah.
You finished third in one of the all-time worst divisions in the history of the league.
It was.
You finished third in the NFC least.
Yes.
And furthermore, you had one of the all-time worst defenses in the history of the league,
Yes.
especially stopping the
Right.
run. Do I need to remind you what the Cleveland Browns did to them?
Yes.
What the Baltimore Ravens did, what Kyler and company did
Yeah.
at Jerry World on a Monday night, ran wild on this team. And they don't deserve, they didn't earn the right to be here, nor did they earn the right to take this L because they should have started anywhere. They should have had a home game against the Giants or whatever. I'm fine with that.
You know
That's how
what?
they usually start.
Now that I look at it, I think this is pretty good for y'all because you'll early on, you'll get a chance, a dose of reality. Like, you know what, man? We're going to be terrible again. I like that.
No.
So we don't have to get midway through the season because, Skip, you see, you got a cream puff. You remember when y'all started 2-0? I said, Skip, you're not that good. You're playing teams that are bad. Oh, no. I said, Skip.
2019,
Yeah.
we were 3-0, and you kept saying garbage yards, bad teams, garbage teams.
So now, early on, you'll see in the Cowboy fans, but they're delusional. It doesn't matter. Y'all can be 0-10.
Yeah.
We gonna make the playoffs. Watch when we get to the playoffs. Nobody want to play us. Everybody wants to play you.
We are still going to win the least.
No,
this
you're
year.
not. Stop saying that.
I know it with all my heart and soul. We are going to win the least, but that's all. I don't go any farther than that because we will have a home playoff game. I doubt we can even win that, but I don't care because all I care is division champs, put you back in your place, shut you up, at least for one show.
I'm going with the football team.
Yep, you're going.
We're going to talk about that a little
We
later.
are going to talk about that. So no way did we deserve to get embarrassed
That's
on
what you deserve.
opening
Yes.
Thursday night on the solo stage. And back to Dak's quote, them coming off the Super Bowl title and us,
Yeah.
coming off Cowboy Mystique.
6-10.
That's what you're coming off Cowboy Mystique. You're coming off the Cowboy brand.
Right.
You're coming off the Cowboy star on the helmet. That's what you're
So
coming off.
nothing to do with actual football.
No, it has nothing to do with football. You are the best draw in sports.
Yes.
They will have 4 of the top 5 best games a
Easy.
year, and I hope a bunch of them are on Fox because annually,
Yeah.
the games on Fox,
Right.
the big Cowboy games, the big Cowboy Washington games, just give us Fox, right?
Right.
And we will score. We'll
Right.
have one of the top. We might have the top one.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because
regular season game. Only playoff games can rival the Cowboys draw in the regular
Cowboys
season.
draw. Cowboys are box office.
Yeah.
Half the world hates them and wants to see them lose, and half the world loves them and is hoping desperately that they'll figure out a way to win, even on Thursday night. This game will do a huge rating, at least for about 3 quarters, when at some point Tom Brady will say, that's enough of that, and it will turn into a 35-10 game.
I'm hoping you're right.
But in the end, if you really boil down this marquee matchup, it's Brady versus Jerry. That's what it is. In the end, that's all it is. Because you can't do Brady versus Dak. He hadn't played in 333 days.
Right.
And by the way, he's 6-11 in his last 17 starts. So he doesn't deserve to be in the same sentence with Tom Brady, except in salary, because he makes $75 million this year. Brady makes $27.5 million this year. Yeah. And don't think Brady has that little note up on his bulletin board right now.
Yeah, I'm thinking. I did DVR Forensic Files 2 the other night.
Did you?
I'll catch up on that episode.
Okay.
Yeah,
You're
but
going
third
to
quarter.
watch it in the fourth quarter, third quarter? Well, might be. I don't know.
So I'm going to need you to fill me in on the rest of the game.
Okay. Well, I probably will be watching it with one eye closed because that's probably the way I'll watch the whole thing. But the point is, this is what the NFL and the world needs. And I get that. It's marquee. It's got flavor to it. It has fascination to it. And now the new theme is, how badly are the Cowboys going to get beaten? That's what people...
If this was a movie, this would be Purge.
You know? Ooh,
Yeah, the Bucs go kill y'all, Cowboys, and I'm here for it.
the ultimate purge. Yeah. Ugh.
We're going to get y'all out of we be done.
Can you actually watch that?
I watch it. I'm here for it. Because when you come out here on Friday, I won't see you try to just like, hey, it's just one. I know you're going to come out here and talk about this one game. You know, I love the fight that my Cowboys showed. We didn't have Zach Martin. Lyle Collins hadn't played in a year. Tyron Smith. You're going to give me all that. And I'm not here for that.
I just told you, we are thrown to the wolves, and those are some wolves down there because they are number one against the run last year. They have the best defensive coordinator. They have the greatest player ever at quarterback, and they all came back because they want to run it back.
I need Devin White. I need Levante David. I need Mooch.
Yep.
Ooh, I need JPP.
Yep.
I need you to do that thing for me. Vita Vea, Sue. Come on, baby. Winfield Jr., hear what that piece sound like he did Tyreek at the Super Bowl.
He did.
Bam.
I think the Bucs very well might go 17-0.
Oh, I want him to go one. No, I ain't worried about 17-0. I'm worried about 1-0. I just need him to go 1-0. That's all I need right now. We'll cross that. We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Well, all I need to know is that the odds makers have made my Dallas Cowboys the biggest underdog of Week 1. 8-point favorite, and it ain't enough. If I were a betting man and not such a Cowboy fan, I would bet a lot of money on the Buccaneers to cover 8 because it should be a 12-point spread.
I'm hoping.
This is a classic opening night.
I'm not going to be satisfied.
Mismatch.
I'm not going to be satisfied with anything under 17.
Well, I got 35-10, so that's 25 points.
Yeah, that's what I need. Because Skip, the thing is, like my coach just say, son, we do you a favor. If we beat you bad, we do you a favor. See, if the game nip and tuck and we pull up, we win by 3 points, you like, man, a play here, play there. We beat you by 20, let you know, nah, you're not in my stratosphere.
Well, there.
That's not what I'm hoping.
Because I don't think anybody is.
Come on, Tom.
Yep.
One time for your life.
I don't get it. I just don't get it.
I get it.
Completely unfair to me, and you know it.
I need Devin White to drop that thunder.
Yep, he will.
Blitz.
Yep. Tom Brady's going to throw the biggest party you've ever seen. Watch.
He knows we're
Devin
all
White going to be hunting. You know, Devin White start hunting
for the Cowboys. It may not be pretty, but at least we can evaluate some real football after we see them Thursday night. That's a good sign, right, guys? NFL Kickoff Week is sponsored by Las Vegas, your home for all live sports. Every game, match, race, and competition. It is always on. Also, are this year's Lakers a once-in-a-lifetime team? Stick around for that. Well, there is a lot of buzz around the purple and gold heading into the season, despite being 6 weeks away from opening night. Former Laker Metta World Peace recently tweeted, quote, "This Lakers team is like a classic Lauryn Hill album. It only happens once in a lifetime. Can't wait for the season to start." Skip preseason. Gotta love Lauryn Hill. I did love Lauryn Hill. Shannon, do you agree?
Yeah. We kept waiting for a second miseducation of Miss Lauryn Hill. Skip, no, I'm going to disagree. I think there are probably 5 years past where this really could have been special. Let's just look at, I think, what he's talking about. LeBron James going into year 19. Carmelo Anthony going into year 19. Russell Westbrook going into year 13 or 14. I think Anthony Davis maybe 8, 9. 5 years ago, 6 years ago, Skip, this could have been special. The Warriors, that was something special because you got those guys in their prime, Skip. These guys are really not in their prime. Now, LeBron has stayed, divide the odds of being able to play as well as he played for 19 years. But I just think we're a couple of years, not a couple, 5 or 6 years past where this really could have been special. This reminds me of the Lakers, Skip. Gary Payton, Karl Malone, Shaq was basically about a year and a half left. Kobe was right smack dab hitting to his prime. So basically you got AD hitting in his prime. How much Russell, Melo's going to be a role player, a very good role player, I hope, and LeBron. Can LeBron keep pushing off Father Time? I believe he can, but I believe we're 5 or 6 years removed from this being really special. I think they're a really good team. I'm not going to go special yet.
So I love Ron Artest, Metta World Peace.
When did that middle name come in there?
I don't know. It's a new deal. He's always got some new catch to his name. That's fine. Whatever he wants to be called is fine by me. But it's funny about Ron or Metta, he, as we know, he grew up in Queens as a Knicks fan.
Yes.
And then he played originally as a Pacer, and then he went to the Bulls, and he went to the Kings, and he went to the Rockets, and even went to the Knicks briefly. But his heart is just purple and gold.
Yep.
Once you play for the Lakers, it just got him, and it stays with him, and he lives out here in L.A., so he's like a super fan of the team. Yeah. You know? And he's just tweeting with his heart that this is like a classic Lauryn Hill album. Well, that's pretty classic. So it only happens, he says, once in a lifetime to be able to see this. Well, you're right. He's seeing Russell Westbrook at his greatest and LeBron still at his greatest and AD definitely right in the middle of his prime. So he's saying that's...
And Dwight Howard at his greatest.
Yeah, well, he is seeing that, right. And Rondo and Melo.
Right.
Melo. He thinks Melo, he's seeing him at his beastly greatest as a Knick.
Well, Skip, what year was that? Was that 2011 when all of these guys for the Lakers were on the All-Star team, I think, with the exception of maybe AD?
Yep.
But Rondo, I think Dwight Howard, Melo, and Bron were on the Eastern Conference All-Stars.
Yeah. So it's sad to me that what you say is all too true because we're about 5 years past once in a lifetime. That would have been once in a lifetime.
Yes.
But what's funny to me is there's a team in Brooklyn that's very near Queens that right now is, to me, once in a lifetime.
Right.
Because it has a trio of all-time greatness still in maybe the backside of their primes, but Kevin Durant is only 32, and James Harden is only 32, and Kevin turns 33 later in September the 29th, but James Harden's almost a year younger, and Kyrie is 29. Well, what do you have there? You saw that the three of them work together, but they barely were able to play together because of injury and issues off the court last year. So we still haven't gotten to see it realized yet. But to me, Kevin Durant is as great a scorer, as unstoppable a scorer as I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Just on scoreability, he's just unstoppable.
But Skip, you can make the case that James Harden is a better scorer than Kevin Durant.
Okay, well, you can, and I agree with you, but it's mostly, it's more from the perimeter.
Right.
It's that
KD,
step back.
James is step back and driving, drawing the foul, but although Skip, they cut down on all the unnatural motions of drawing the foul. So James Harden and Trae Young, we're going to find out.
Might hurt.
Right.
And Kyrie Irving simply has the best handle I've ever seen.
Yeah.
He is Uncle Drew.
Yeah.
So when you put all three together and then you show me briefly, it'll click.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, Skip, we've never seen this level of skill on one team.
Haven't. And all of a sudden, Kyrie willingly said, you be the point guard. And James showed me he can be as good as any point guard in the league.
But that's what Kyrie always wanted. He doesn't have to worry about running the offense. He can just get the ball. Yeah, he can distribute the basketball. But to put him at the two and just let him dance, he can put
Let him dance. Just let him dance. Let him go.
That's Skip. That's once in a lifetime. Golden State. I mean, you don't see what you saw in Golden State. I just think the Lakers are years removed. It's kind of like Skip. You know what it's like? It's like the Pacquiao Mayweather fight. We're about 5 years, 6 years too late to get that fight.
Yep, I agree. It's sad but true. but this thing that's going on in Brooklyn right now, I don't know if people have absorbed just how rare this is.
Oh yeah.
Because Kevin Durant can play with anybody because he doesn't need the ball.
Right.
He's certainly the most efficient scorer.
Yep.
I don't think he's a greater offensive weapon than Michael Jordan.
Right.
But just his unstoppability.
His efficiency. He's not going to take the shots. Kobe was an offensive, but they're going to take more shots than Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant's not going to take but about 20 shots, maybe. And you look up, he's got 30. You know, when that night he had that spectacular night, he only took like 24 shots, and he had like 49. That's what he's capable of doing. Mid-range, three, go to the basket, free throw line. James Harden can do the same thing. Kyrie Irving can do the same thing. We've never had guys like this. Three guys from the three in. Since James don't really shoot mid-range. James is either shooting the three or he's getting all the way to the basket.
No mid-range at all. He doesn't really have a jump shot.
No.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Skip, I can't tell you the last time I've seen James Harden shoot a mid-range shot. He shoot a shot that wasn't a three or to the basket. Floater, layup.
Yet he can lead the league in scoring.
He averaged 36 one year, shooting threes and floaters.
Okay. I got it.
Right.
So Kevin Durant is 7 feet tall and can shoot.
Oh, he's sensational. I mean,
okay. And James Harden is taller than you think because he's 6'5", and he's stronger than you think because he has natural strength.
Yes.
And slither ability, where he just slithers through the lane.
It's
and they
something about left-handed guys, Skip, that seem to possess that.
They just do. And then Kyrie can get you 50 on any given night if it's his turn.
But that's the thing. That's what makes them so difficult, Skip. You got 3 guys on a given night can get you 50. We know James Harden can go get you 60 because we've seen him do it. So that's what makes them so difficult. You basically need to play one of your better games and then hope those 3 guys are off. Because either one of those, if one of those guys are on, they can carry a team. Even if you're playing good, one of those guys can go get 50. Now, you let 2 of those guys go get 30, 40. You're not winning. Don't let 3 of them, all 3 of them be efficient. You're definitely not winning.
So I think Meta needs one little edit to his tweet. This @Nets team is like a classic Lauryn Hill album. It only happens once in a lifetime. Can't wait for the season to start. Skip preseason @Nets. Well, it's funny to me because you see the forest for the trees here because you're seeing the Nets. They're just better than the Lakers.
We've seen big threes put together. Big 3 Celtics, the old big 3 Celtics, Bird, Parrish, McHale. We saw the Lakers with Worthy, Magic, and Kareem. But the skill, all 3 guys can handle the ball. All 3 guys can shoot beyond the 3. All 3 guys are very good free throw shooters. Skip, I don't know if you're probably not going to be able to see this again.
So in one show, you've given up on LeBron James as the best player on the planet, and you've given up on the Lakers as the best team in the NBA.
Skip, here's the thing. No, I didn't give up. Perk said that KD had taken the crown. What crown? LeBron had the crown as the finals MVP. He had the champion. Giannis took that off his head and set it on his own head. So Kevin Durant's going to have to take it off Giannis' head. Somebody's going to have to take it from Giannis. Giannis is the king. Crown him. Okay, I'm giving kudos. Look, I love the Lakers. I think they're going to be really, really good. But to say 2 guys at 19, 1 year at 18, another guy at 14, another guy at a decade, to say that this is the no. I can't agree.
You're describing a runner-up to me, right?
Skip. That's why we play. That's why we play the game.
You told me earlier you are going to win this year's championship.
Yes.
But how can you get past
the same way the Miracle on Ice happened? You remember that, Skip?
So it's going to take that kind of upset?
Yeah.
It's going to take the U.S. over Russia at Lake Placid in 1980? It's going to be that...
Are you not favored?
That magnitude of
Are you not favored?
The Nets are slightly...
Yes, okay then. So we David and Goliath.
Yeah. So you're David? You're David. You have the GOAT on your team, according to you, and you're David.
Well, hold on. Don't we got to do already on this? I mean, I already got to do... I don't want to have to pull the truck up here. I don't want to have to hijack a Mountain Dew truck and pull up here and say, I bet all this was in here.
Well, I'll bet all that's in one truck on the Lakers not winning this year's championship.
No, you got to pick a team. Who winning it?
I don't need a team. You give me the field.
No, I ain't give you no
love
them. No, you over there singing the praise. Oh, the Nets. Oh, we've never seen this kind of firepower.
We have not.
And Kevin Durant, yada, 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 going on and on.
You agreed.
Okay. You got them to win the title?
Yep, I'll take them. I'll take Nets over Lakers right now.
Give me the field.
What are you talking about? You were ready to give me the field.
No, hold on. You said the Lakers. You said Nets are Tiger Woods at his prime.
I didn't say that. I just said that the Lakers are not going to win this year's championship, and you said, yes, they are.
We are.
Okay, so let's just do it. Nets versus Lakers for
y'all might not get there, Skip.
10 cases.
Y'all might not get there.
We're definitely going to get there.
Might not get there, Skip.
If Kawhi comes back, you definitely will not get there.
Oh, we ain't even worried about the Clippers. We ain't even worried about y'all, because Clippers going to clip.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't going nowhere, Skip. Y'all had y'all chance. You had your golden chance to see us 2 years ago. You up 3-1, and you gagged it. The best player on your team gagged it. The second best player on this team, I don't even talk about it. So you know what the time it is. No pressure, no expectations. Kawhi went down. Paul George playing free with no expectations. Look how he looked. Wait, Kawhi come back and that pressure come with their expectations.
I just want to be clear on this. I've got the Nets. You've got the Lakers for 10 cases.
We ain't put no bet on it yet.
Why not?
We got to see. I want to see a couple of games.
See a couple of games?
I do. I do.
See what a disaster Russell Westbrook is at point guard?
He might come out and get about 15 assists opening night.
Huh.
LeBron had like 27. AD had like 27.
Okay, well, if you're that confident, just do it.
I want to see.
Do the do.
I want to see. Can I see?
See? God.
That's what you wanted me to do with the Cowboys.
Yep, because you agreed with me. Meta's tweet should have been about the Nets, not the Lakers. The Nets are now, the Lakers are past.
Skip. All I know, in 2 years of him being there, LeBron won a title. About to make it 2 in 4 years. That's what we gonna do.
Okay, well, then put your do where your mouth is.
I ain't ready to do that just yet.
No? Well, somebody doesn't have much confidence.
I got a ton of confidence in Dope.
Because you realize that trio in Brooklyn is all-time special.
They're great.
Yep.
But them big and they purple and gold don't take a backseat to nothing.
Okay, let's bet on it. Let's bet on it. I think somebody has no courage of somebody's
I tell you what,
convictions.
you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put 2 cases on layaway. I'm gonna hold it. Let you know that I want to bet. Yeah, I'm going to put these 2 cases on layaway to hold this.
Really?
Hold this bet for you.
Until
So
when?
you get your guts up?
So we got 2 cases to hold this bet.
Okay.
All right.
I don't want you to take it nowhere else.
I have a feeling we
I might take it to Caesars.
bet on this next topic, guys. Are the Cowboys already locked to win the NFC East?
Well,
we have some numbers that back it up, Shannon. So just wait for it. I'll explain next.
No mercy, no mercy, no mercy. And I won't back down. And I won't back down.
According to one recent simulation of the entire NFL 2021 schedule, the Cowboys are projected to win the NFC East with a record of 10-7. Washington and Philly would both finish at 8-9, and New York would come in last at 5-12. But despite the 10-win season and division title, the Cowboys' luck, well, it would end there. And then they were predicted to lose a whole playoff game to the Saints in the wild card round. So, Shannon, you're picking Washington to win the division. At least that's what you've been saying. So how nervous does this make you?
Doesn't change a thing. Because here's the thing, Skip. There's really no expectations. The expectations are not there for the Washington football team. See, that would have scared me. If somebody had actually picked the Washington football team outside of myself, some of these simulations, then I'd have got worried because then there would have been expectation for Fitzmagic. We know Fitzmagic does not do well with expectations. Since nothing is expected of him, he should do just fine. And that's what I'm counting on. Nothing being expected, he sneaked right up in there like he did in Buffalo, like he had that 1 year with the Jets. And then probably next year he steps off the cliff. But for this year, I'm going to take them. I like their defense. I like the weapons. I love Gibson being able to run the football. Samuel McLaurin, Logan Thomas in the passing receiving game. I like this team. I like this team a lot, and we know Riverboat Ron will have his guys ready to play every single week. I'm not so sure about old Doug Mike McCarthy.
Really?
Yep.
So it's funny. Every projection we see, every simulation we see, every forecast we see, every prognostication we see has my Dallas Cowboys winning the East. It's just like prohibitive across the board, right?
Yep.
And this is actually pretty conservative to me at 10-7. I had them at 12-5.
Man, you know good.
Yeah. So by other simulations, their schedule is the easiest in the league. But what's great about this one, what really caught my eye was that sort of 2/3 through the year, they have Washington leading the division. And then all of a sudden, they have Washington cratering and Dallas taking off. And it's really taking off through the tougher part of the schedule to me, because here's the last 6 games. It's Thursday night at New Orleans.
That's a loss.
Maybe, maybe not.
A loss.
Followed by at your team, at Washington.
Loss.
At Giants, win.
Maybe.
Washington at home on a Sunday night, big W.
Y'all get that one.
Then Arizona, we got to get some revenge.
Y'all,
last
Kyler
year.
gonna run wild on y'all.
Arizona at home, we will get revenge.
D-Hop and A.J. Green going to have field day on
Got
you.
that. And closing at Eagles, which I do not think will be any cakewalk. You would say big W. I would say tough W. But
No,
again,
big W for the Eagles.
Well, that's...
Oh, I thought you would take the Cowboys in that game?
No, I'm saying you're saying big W for Cowboys, but I'm saying tough W.
No, I ain't saying no victory for no Cowboys. Y'all losing that game.
Okay, what have I told you all preseason long? I've told you the Eagles will be the surprise team not only in the division, but one of the surprise teams in the NFC, because I love me some Jalen Hurts, and he will seize this job and seize the day in Philadelphia and be the future of the Eagles.
Okay.
And this one simulation has them finishing 8 and 9. That'll work. And also Washington finishing 8 and 9, depending on how they fight each other within the division. The Eagles could finish second to the Cowboys.
I think you guys finish. I ain't giving y'all more than 9 wins.
Really?
That's the best I can do.
What, you got us third?
That's the best I can do.
Okay. 9 wins might win this division, but
Y'all ain't
again,
getting to 10.
You're
Yeah,
only,
Washington
you're only
getting that.
game off because this says 10. Okay. So it boils down to, if my quarterback can stay healthy, he's just way better than your quarterback. You know it, and I know it.
But their coach is way better than yours. Their defense is way better than yours. And their offense plays more consistent than yours.
Okay. But does it with Fitzmagic at quarterback? A guy you don't trust, a guy you've told me, scale of 1 to 10, you're at a 3 on trustability, right?
Over
3.
Okay, how about this here? Over under 8 games for Ty Smith. Over under 8 games for Lockout.
Over
Over under 10 games for Zach Martin.
Over.
Because we're already at 1.
Yeah. COVID's just 1 game. And by the way, it's still a little up in the air. He might be able to pass those back-to-back tests. I know it's a long shot, but it's still a shot that he might be able to play this Thursday night.
It doesn't matter. Vita Vea or Sue whipping whoever in front of him.
Okay, that's fine. But if I got Zach Martin, I got a whole new lift.
I'm hoping you have Zach Martin, because now you kind of got to build an excuse. Well, we couldn't run the ball because we didn't have our best run blocker. Now when you get your whole compilation of players
Yeah.
and your breaks get beat off you, then what's your excuse? None.
Well, I think you're starting to see the handwriting on those golden walls.
No, you're right.
That
That's you right,
surround
Louis.
your estate up there in Bel Air. You're seeing the handwriting saying Dallas Cowboys. You can't.
I see
You can't refute it.
I see you write some chicken scratch over there.
Yeah.
But that don't mean it's true. Washington wins the division. And I'm going to be right.
For a while, it was Giants, and then you decided.
Oh, after I watched them play and Joe Judge got him
you
running
had to
laps
pass
and doing
some
push-ups.
judgment on Joe, right?
Yeah. You're right. Exactly. That's what I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Well,
I did.
they added a bunch of weapons too, and
But the guy, Skip, did you see the guy? Daniel Jones threw an interception in the end zone.
I saw.
He could have threw the ball out of bounds.
Okay.
But no, he threw the ball in traffic. He just can't help himself.
Have you seen Micah Parsons in little preseason stints?
Yeah.
Have you seen him flash
Yeah.
and dash?
Have you seen him?
Have you seen a potential star in the making, even as a rookie?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, man. Have you seen old Chase Young?
Yep.
Yeah.
pretty good.
Forever young.
Yeah.
Oh, Allen, Payne, Sweat.
Yeah. They're good. Have you seen DeMarcus Lawrence when he is rolling?
When the last time you saw him rolling?
I've
I'm
seen
glad
him
you brought
rolling.
that name up. When the last time you saw him rolling?
That Thursday night against Drew Brees, remember? Was that like 3 years ago? I
Yes!
forget.
Oh, guess what? Hey, he was looking for that big payday. Got the big payday. Had 25 sacks leading up to the payday.
Yep.
Ain't got half that in the last 2 years after the payday.
Remember I said this, Randy Gregory revelation, Pro Bowl. He will emerge as a force coming off that edge in place of an Aldon Smith who kept him mostly on the bench last year to a fault. So all of a sudden, if I get DeMarcus rolling and Randy Gregory firing off the edge, I have a pass rush that will stabilize my defense. And I do agree with the one thing McCarthy said in the preseason.
What'd he
was
say?
He's never seen one side of the ball get flipped the way they flipped their defense.
Where'd they flip?
Well, they didn't flip a coin. They just flipped it from bad to decent. That's what it'll be.
So in other words, instead of being the 30th or 31st ranked defense, they're going to be like the 20th ranked defense.
No, I think they'll be 15th, and that'll be good enough to win this division.
15th how?
You see it coming. All these simulations, they don't lie. They're just, these aren't subjective. These are objective.
How? Oh, so you see, because you put stats and stuff in the computer,
Yeah.
and it spits it out.
Right back out, 10 and 7. Book it.
Okay, all right. It all
need
begins
help.
Thursday for you guys. Let's
You
move
need
on to a
help.
different division. Will Lamar Jackson's Ravens dominate the AFC
Nope.
North this year? Don't go anywhere.
No mercy, no mercy, no mercy, and I won't back down.
Despite TJ Watt's uncertainty for Week 1 due to his contract status. Pro Football Focus has written that the Steelers are being underrated heading into the 2021 season. Meanwhile, their rival in Baltimore is looking for running back depth, bringing in Le'Veon Bell and Devontae Freeman for workouts. And according to one recent simulation of the 2021 season, Pittsburgh is projected to finish 9-8, while Baltimore is missing the playoffs at 7-10. So, Shannon, can you see the Steelers being better than the Ravens?
I cannot. I know the Ravens have been besieged by injury at the running back position. J.K. Dobbins, Justin Hill out for the season.
Yep.
Bateman starts the season on IR, the #1 draft pick at the wide receiver position, Skip.
Yep.
But I still think this is a very good football team. Lamar Jackson will continue to get better. I like the offensive line. Ronnie Staley's back. Remember, Skip, he missed 10 games last year. He goes back to his left tackle. They signed Bill on the waiver from Pittsburgh Steelers. He goes to right tackle. Kevin Zeitler came over from the Giants. He's at a guard position.
Yep.
Their offensive line is going to be really good. Defensively, we know what the Ravens are defensively. That back end is as good as we have in all of football with that back with Humphrey and Peters. So they're going to be good on that side of the football again. Skip, you like Pro Football Focus. This is your favorite site. It's your Bible of things. You got a real Bible and another Bible, and this is it. It says the Pittsburgh Steelers offensive line is ranked 31st going into the season.
But did you keep reading?
31st. That good?
Yep, but they said they were very good in the preseason and might be underrated going into the regular season.
They ain't
You got to keep reading.
Okay, Pouncey, all pro. Pouncey's probably might get a bust in Cooperstown. He went to 9 Pro Bowls, but he's on the all-decade team.
Yep.
DeCastro went to the Pro Bowl. Villanueva has been a Pro Bowl player at left tackle. He's gone. So you're going to replace 3 guys that have been Pro Bowl or all-pro players with what? With who? Good luck with that. Big Ben is 39. We haven't seen him push the ball down the field, have we? That dinking and dunking. How that working out for you? No way. You want some do on that one?
I do want some.
Oh, I saw you coming. See how I did that?
Your favorite website, Pro Football Focus, says, in conclusion, the Steelers were overrated last year until the inevitable happened, but now they may be severely underrated. I've been trying to tell you that all preseason, severely underrated because of #1, Ben Roethlisberger, and #2, Mike Tomlin. That's all I need. I saw a Ben in the preseason who looked like the Ben of old before he had reconstructive surgery on his elbow, and he was not right last year, and you were trying to retire him. They did get to 11-0. I don't know how.
And what did I tell you?
11.
The whole one. What did I tell you, Skip? Whew. I said, Skip, that's fool's goal.
Really?
Oh, no. I said, Skip, that's fool's goal. It's not real.
Yep.
And what happened? Got the doors blown off at home.
Okay. What's about to happen is you're about to get your doors blown off by these Steelers because Ben is back. And that Freiermuth that they drafted, along with Ebron and Claypool and Juju and Deontay Johnson, he's got weapons.
Yeah.
And then the key weapon is Najee. You loved him at Bama.
I still do.
Love you some Tide. And he is going to roll like the Tide for Pittsburgh. It's just what the doctor
His offensive line ain't as good as the Tide.
Yeah, well, it probably isn't. Unfortunately, it probably isn't. But it's better than you think it is. And if they can figure out this TJ Watt dilemma that's stuck in right now,
he ain't coming.
I'm not sure the Steelers have ever faced one quite like this.
Because you know why, Skip? He saw what happened to the sidekick, Bud Dupree.
Yep.
Ripped his knee, probably cost himself $60, $80 million.
Yep.
TJ Watt says, hey, y'all can keep that captaincy. I want currency.
Okay.
That's the C I want on my jersey.
Well, he is no longer captain, although his brother is captain of the special teams on that team.
Hey, he said, I want currency. Give me a contract that rivals Joey Bosa, Myles Garrett. Don't worry about that C.
All right. I'm not worried about this team if they figure this out. And I just believe this organization will get this figured out before the open.
They don't really like to play nobody but the quarterback, Skip.
Okay,
That's what their history
but
is.
He is special.
Yes, he is.
He is a difference maker. He is a game wrecker.
He's outperformed.
And I believe he will wreck some games for them this year.
He might not wreck opening day.
Okay. Well, he might not. But I still say they are way better than you think they are. And again, the one projection we're using, the ESPN one, has them at 9-8, which ekes into the playoffs. But it's got the Ravens at 7-10. It just feels like a not meant to be season for the Ravens.
Man, you take these simulations as the gospel. They're simulations.
When it comes to the Cowboys, it's the gospel.
And they talk about the simulation, talk about, oh, the Cowboys get off to a slow start, but then they picked up steam. Bruh, stop with the dramatic effects. It's simulation.
Okay.
Nobody trying to hear about no pickup steam.
I am not even simulating my prediction because I've had it all preseason long. The Steelers will be better than the Ravens. The Steelers will eke into the playoffs with the Browns dominating that division and getting to the Super Bowl. I said it first. I am never flip, skip. I don't flip. I dig in, I put it in concrete, and I don't back off, unlike somebody across from me.
That's why you get left at home.
Yeah.
Because you be dug it in and talk about you want this and you want to go to this restaurant. That's why your mom and dad left you at home.
That.
Because you was dug in.
Never flip.
So stay home and eat hot dogs.
That's a good nickname. I like it.
Yeah.
Guys, listen up. Is LeBron ready to blow us all away with his next movie? Oh, we are going to be all over this.
Again?
We'll share the
You better be
details
careful.
Next.
No mercy, no mercy, no mercy, and I won't back down.
Guys, despite some less than favorable reviews for Space Jam, an actor in LeBron's House Party reboot has told TMZ Sports that the new movie is in good hands and that it will resonate with fans. So, Shannon, how excited are you for this one?
I'm extremely. Now you get into a culture classic. A House Party, 1990.
Loved
Martin
it.
Lawrence, Bilal, Kid
Got
Blake.
it.
Kid watches every day, Skip. Pops, Robin Harris, John Witherspoon, Tisha Campbell.
Got it.
Now you,
Okay.
now you getting.
And
All I need, LeBron, you got, look, I thought you did a very good job with Space Jam. You
did?
got to do a great job with this one. Don't let me down. This is a, Skip, this is it.
I believe LeBron James will oversee a hit with this remake.
Yes.
The first one was classic.
Yes.
And I believe that LeBron knows he needs to redeem himself
Yes.
for Space Jam.
Yes.
Am I right about
Yes.
that? Because I'm reading this report. Space Jam was universally panned. Space Jam, called A New Legacy, was actually a tainted legacy for LeBron James. So he will redeem himself
That's right.
with House Party.
Full force.
Got it.
This movie originally written for DJ Jazz and Jeff and
Yep.
Fresh Prince. They backed out. Kid play. Got another classic on our hand.
Good.
Oh, Braun.
We're gonna do
Braun
that.
got a hit on his